You thought you knew their stories? Think again. Who's still winning hearts in 2025? This year was all about strong chemistry, inspiring relationships, and moments that reminded us why we fell in love with these stories in the first place. Stick with us until the end to find out who truly defines happily ever after in 2025. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the love alive. In the ever-changing world of BL dramas, few couples have been able to capture the hearts and keep them engaged like Jitaraphol and Tawinan. Affectionately known as JimmySea, the pair have become a prime example of how on-screen magic can seamlessly blend with real-life warmth. As the year 2025 unfolds, their journey is more vibrant than ever, filled with laughter, fan meetings, and undeniable chemistry that keeps audiences hooked and wanting more. JimmySea first lit up the BL scene with performances that instantly resonated with audiences across the globe. Their chemistry is natural, their smiles are infectious, and their storylines are unforgettable. But what really sets them apart is how they carry that bond beyond the drama itself. For fans, JimmySea is not just an on-screen character, but has become a symbol of true, genuine friendship. Whether they are performing live, meeting fans overseas, or simply sharing genuine moments online, JimmySea exudes authenticity. Their playful banter, genuine support for each other, and natural witty stories make every interaction feel like they are seeing something real. Fans see them not only as actors, but also as companions who have conquered fame together, relying on each other through ups and downs. The year 2025 has further increased their star appeal. With international fan meetings across Asia, from Manila to Taipei, they have turned the stage into a place to celebrate love and friendship. Each event feels like a reunion between two close friends and a growing family of fans. Their smiles, their laughter, and even the way they look at each other on stage remind fans why they fell in love with JimmySea in the first place. What sets them apart is the intimacy and sincerity they maintain despite their fame. Sea's calm, thoughtful demeanor perfectly balances Jimmy's energetic, sometimes mischievous charm. Together, they exude a chemistry that makes the duo unforgettable. They're not afraid to be silly, they're not afraid to be real, and that's exactly why fans all over the world love them. Their story also shows how BL has evolved beyond the realm of conventional entertainment. Through JimmySea, fans see the power of expression, the importance of friendship, and the ability to bond beyond the screen. They remind us that love, whether romantic, platonic, or somewhere in between, is all about connection, trust, and joy. What's truly refreshing about JimmySea in 2025 is how they embrace the new wave of BL culture that's fresh, global, and incredibly engaging. They're not just sticking to old formulas, they're experimenting with new styles, new formats, and connecting with fans in youthful and fun ways. From TikTok challenges that go viral overnight to heartfelt Instagram live streams that feel like private conversations, JimmySea have mastered the art of being both modern and authentic. As the spotlight continues to shine on them in 2025, JimmySea shine not just as actors, but as cultural icons who inspire hope and happiness. They've proven that BL couples aren't just about creating fleeting fantasies, they're about creating legacies. JimmySea is more than just a name. It's a promise of authenticity, warmth, and magic that makes fans believe in love stories again. So when it comes to the top 10 BL couples still happily together in 2025, JimmySea not only made the list, they defined it. With their charm, chemistry, and strong bond, they prove that sometimes the brightest love stories are the ones that never stop happening. When you think of a couple that perfectly combines youthfulness and emotional depth, Naravit and Phuwin Tangsakyuen immediately spring to mind. Known worldwide as PondPhuwin, their presence in 2025 feels bigger, brighter, and bolder than ever. They are more than just actors playing roles. They are storytellers, bringing sincerity to every scene and authenticity to every public appearance. Watching them together is like catching a glimpse of a friendship that has taken wing and decided to soar to new, more extraordinary heights. What really sets PondPhuwin in 2025 apart is their ability to keep things fun while still remaining real. They are equally at home making fans laugh with their hilarious behind-the-scenes antics, as they are touching hearts with their dramatic roles. This balance of lightness and seriousness is rare, and it's the secret that keeps them captivating audiences year after year. They prove that you don't have to choose between being playful and being profound. You can be both and still retain your own identity. Their fan meetings have become a phenomenon. Whether it's duets that bring the crowd to their feet or heartfelt speeches that bring tears to the eyes, Pond and Phuwin create unforgettable moments. Fans often say they leave these events not only entertained, but also uplifted, with a sense of joy that lingers long after the lights go out. 2025 also saw PondPhuwin seize global opportunities, stepping onto stages far from home, but still carrying the warmth of their Thai roots. They have become cultural ambassadors in their own right, combining humor, heart, and heritage in a way that resonates across language and borders. From fan meetings in Hong Kong to special events in Southeast Asia, their connection with audiences has proven to be universal. Fans often describe them as a safe space, two individuals whose presence makes you feel seen, appreciated, and valued. This is no coincidence. Pond and Phuwin always take the initiative to return the love in proportion to the overwhelming support they receive. It is this generosity of spirit that turns ordinary events into extraordinary experiences. And if there is anything more admirable, it is their ability to inspire resilience. They have gracefully embraced the spotlight, reminding everyone that authenticity doesn't mean perfection. It means honesty, vulnerability, and courage. For their adoring fans, this message is as powerful as any film they've ever starred in. So, as we celebrate PondPhuwin in 2025, we also celebrate the truth they embody, that joy and growth can go hand in hand, and that happiness lies not in perfection, but in progress. Their story reminds us that the best relationships aren't the ones that never change. They're the ones that grow and become stronger together. And speaking of growing stories, our next couple takes the concept of shared success to a whole new level, a testament to how love can build not just memories, but empires. Let's turn our attention to Pruk and NuNew Chawarin, the couple known as ZeeNuNew. If PondPhuwin is the definition of evolution and JimmySea is the embodiment of authenticity, then Pruk and NuNew Chawarin are the undisputed rulers of the BL Empire of 2025. Known as ZeeNuNew, they have elevated the genre into a cultural phenomenon, proving that on-screen love stories can spark off-screen legacies. Their partnership is not just a collaboration, but more like a movement, one that fans all over the world are proud to be a part of. Their journey truly began with Cutie Pie the series, a show that not only entertained, but also redefined BL storytelling. Z's commanding presence and NuNew's subtle warmth created a contrast that immediately captivated audiences. Fans not only watched, but also invested, applauded, and followed their every move. That success opened the door to another project that showcased their versatility and proved they could deliver stories that were fun, quirky, and heartfelt, all at the same time. And then there's the music. With NuNew's angelic vocals and Z's stage presence, they turned fan meetings into epic concerts. From Bangkok to Tokyo to Manila, The roar of fans chanting their names became the soundtrack of this era in BL history. Few couples can say they've filled arenas with both laughter and tears, but ZeeNuNew has made it their trademark. What makes ZeeNuNew so appealing isn't just their projects, but how they turn every public appearance into a joyful performance. When they step on stage for a fan meeting, it feels like a concert, a celebration, and a reunion all rolled into one. Their energy is magnetic, their bond is undeniable, and their ability to make thousands of fans feel personally seen is extraordinary. The bright spot in their bond is how adaptable they are. In interviews, Z often leads with sharp humor and quick wit, while NuNew balances the moment with gentleness and thoughtfulness. Together, they create lively, unscripted conversations that are endlessly rewatchable. Their differences don't divide them, they complement each other, creating a bond that grows stronger with each passing year. And their fans? Collectively known as the ZeeNuNew family, supporters from all over the world have rallied behind them, creating a global community that is constantly filled with joy and positivity. 2025 has seen fan projects spanning continents, from charity events in their name to airport flash mobs. This devotion doesn't come naturally. It's cultivated, moment by moment, smile by smile. In 2025, ZeeNuNew crossed the threshold from actors we admire to icons we celebrate. They blurred the lines between fiction and reality, between performance and presence, becoming a beacon of hope for fans who believe in the inspiring power of love. Their on-screen love stories have given us fairy tales, but their off-screen bond evokes something even more wonderful: magical realism. So the real question is, what about you? What ZeeNuNew's moment of 2025 captured your heart the most, and where in the world were you watching from? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your story too. There are love stories that entertain, there are love stories that inspire, and then there are love stories like Porsch Arm's, the kind that redefine what forever really means. In 2025, Porsch Arm stand as living proof that some connections are destined to last a lifetime. 17 years of companionship have blossomed into something extraordinary, and when they tied the knot at the beginning of this year, it wasn't just a wedding. It was a celebration of resilience, of patience, and of a love that had already passed the test of time. For fans who have followed their journey, the sight of Porsch and Arm walking hand in hand as newlyweds feels like the happy ending of a BL series brought to life. Except, in their case, it's not the end at all. It's a new chapter, one overflowing with light, laughter, and limitless possibilities. Every photo from their wedding radiated joy, not only from the couple, but from the sea of supporters who had waited years to witness this moment. It was more than an event. It was history in the making for BL culture and for LGBTQ+ love stories everywhere. But what makes 2025 so breathtaking for PorschArm is not just that they said "I do." It's how they've embraced married life with the same energy, passion, and youthful glow that first drew fans to them years ago. They continue to appear together in interviews and shows, their chemistry unshaken, their smiles brighter than ever. Porsche's playful energy perfectly complements Arm's gentle stability, and together, they create a picture of love that feels both aspirational and deeply relatable. Their appearances at fan events this year have been nothing short of magical. Every time they step on stage, they are met with thunderous applause and teary-eyed fans who feel like they've grown up alongside them. There's a special kind of power in seeing two people stand together through nearly 2 decades and still laugh like they've just met. That's the essence of PorschArm, timeless love wrapped in youthful spirit. And beyond the spotlight, what resonates most is their authenticity. They don't hide behind a manufactured image or a polished facade. They share their happiness openly, embracing the vulnerability of real life and real love. In a world where so many stories remain unfinished, theirs feels like a promise fulfilled. That love, with patience and dedication, can endure every challenge and still come out stronger. 2025 has painted their relationship in colors more vibrant than ever. From joint projects to candid moments on social media, every update is a reminder that love doesn't just survive the years. It can grow, evolve, and become more beautiful than the day it started. Fans describe them as a beacon, a symbol that true companionship is possible and worth waiting for. The lesson we learned from Porsch Arm this year is simple yet profound. Real love is not about grand gestures alone, but about showing up every single day, holding hands through storms and sunshine alike. They've proven that forever isn't just a dream, it's a choice, renewed again and again. And now, as we continue our journey through the couples who define happiness in 2025, it's time to meet another duo who balance playfulness and passion in their own unique way. Let's move on to Pakin and NuNew Trai, the pair fans know and love as MarkNeo. In a BL world full of rising stars and fleeting trends, there's something refreshingly electric about Pakin and NuNew Trai. Better known as MarkNeo, they've carved out a space that's uniquely theirs. Vibrant, playful, and surprisingly heartfelt. In 2025, their bond continues to shine brighter than ever, proving that some partnerships are destined not only to survive but to thrive. Fans first fell in love with them through Only Friends, a series that dared to push boundaries with raw storytelling and unfiltered emotions. Mark brought his intensity, NuNew delivered his nuance, and together they created a dynamic that was impossible to ignore. Their scenes weren't just performances. They felt lived in, magnetic, as though these two were pulling from a shared energy that extended far beyond the script. The magic didn't stop there. MarkNeo proved they could shift gears effortlessly, from edgy and daring to tender and intimate. Their chemistry adapted like a chameleon, one moment sparking fire, the next soft enough to make audiences melt. For fans, it was like watching two artists paint with every shade of love, creating a mural that felt modern yet timeless. 2025. So exciting for MarkNeo is how they've translated that on-screen spark into real-life synergy. Their fan meetings have become a whirlwind of fun, Mark's quick wit bouncing perfectly off NuNew's subtle charm. Together, they create an atmosphere that feels less like a staged event and more like hanging out with two friends who just happen to be global stars. Laughter, inside jokes, spontaneous singing, no moment ever feels rehearsed, and that's exactly why fans adore them. There's also something youthful and fresh about the way they approach fame. They don't take themselves too seriously, and that authenticity resonates with a generation that craves honesty. On social media, they post candid snapshots, silly faces, behind-the-scenes bloopers, and heartfelt thanks that make fans feel like part of their journey. They've mastered the art of connection in a digital age, and that's part of their lasting appeal. Beyond the cameras and concerts, Mark and NuNew represent resilience. The BL industry is competitive, and staying relevant isn't easy, yet they've embraced every challenge with confidence. Instead of being boxed into one type of role, they've experimented, taken risks, and in doing so shown fans that growth doesn't mean leaving your roots behind, it means expanding them. 2025 has been a banner year for their friendship too. Their off-screen interactions radiate the same energy fans fell for on screen. Supportive, easygoing, and filled with genuine care. They're not afraid to tease each other, but underneath the laughter lies a respect that grounds their relationship. Watching them is like watching a dance, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but always in perfect rhythm. The story of MarkNeo is proof that when two people bring out the best in each other, magic happens. Their careers are flourishing, their bond is unshakable, and their fans are more devoted than ever. They've shown us that love stories don't have to be flawless to be meaningful. They just have to be real. As 2025 unfolds, MarkNeo remain one of the most exciting duos to watch, and their journey is far from over. Which makes us wonder, if laughter, growth, and genuine chemistry have carried them this far, just imagine where they'll go next. And speaking of journeys that inspire, our next couple has become a heartbeat of the BL scene, known for their warmth, authenticity, and undeniable presence. Let's step into the world of Boun Noppanut and Prem Warut, BounPrem. Some stories sparkle for a season, others glow for a few years. But then there are stories like Boun Noppanut and Prem Warut, a steady flame that refuses to fade. Known lovingly as BounPrem, they've become more than just another BL couple. They embody comfort, consistency, and the kind of happiness that feels like coming home. Their rise began with Until We Meet Again, where their performances touched audiences with sincerity and tenderness. Later, Between Us became a cultural milestone, cementing them as one of the most beloved duos in BL history. What's fascinating is how they've grown alongside their fans. BounPrem didn't just stay locked inside the characters they once portrayed. They evolved, and their audience evolved with them. Each project marked a new layer of depth, a new chapter in a bond that feels both unshakable and endlessly fresh. 2025 has been especially radiant for BounPrem. Their fan meetings across Asia are less like formal events and more like family gatherings. Fans describe the atmosphere as warm, inclusive, and deeply personal. Whether they're performing songs together, sharing playful banter, or pausing to thank their supporters with heartfelt words, Boun and Prem create experiences that linger long after the lights dim. Their magic lies in simplicity, genuine smiles, effortless chemistry, and the ability to make every person in the room feel valued. What sets BounPrem apart from many others is their quiet strength. They're not loud or flashy. They don't chase viral moments or headlines. Instead, they lean into authenticity. Boun's grounded presence blends seamlessly with Prem's soft energy, creating a rhythm that feels timeless. Fans often say that watching them together is like finding calm in the middle of chaos, a rare and precious thing in today's entertainment landscape. Beyond the stage, their connection is just as inspiring. They face the pressures of the industry, the expectations of fame, and the challenge of constantly evolving, yet they remain steady. It's a testament to the idea that real happiness doesn't come from chasing every spotlight, but from cherishing the bond that anchors you. Their story reminds us that strength can be quiet, resilience can be gentle, and love can thrive without spectacle. Feels like a celebration of everything they've built. Social media clips of them laughing together, traveling, or even just exchanging knowing looks remind fans why they've been supporting BounPrem for years. These small, authentic gestures mean more than grand declarations, proving that love is not always about fireworks. Sometimes it's about the glow that never goes out. The lesson BounPrem teach us is one of endurance and authenticity. You don't need to be the loudest to be unforgettable, you just need to be true. Their story is a reminder that happiness is not about perfection, but about showing up, staying steady, and choosing each other again and again. And if their story inspires you as much as it inspires us, don't just stop here. Help us keep celebrating love, growth, and positivity. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and share this video so more fans around the world can join our journey. Because just like BounPrem, our community is built on connection, joy, and the promise that the best stories are the ones we share together. Some couples are loved for a moment, some for years, but Krist Perawat and Singto Prachaya are in a different league altogether. Widely known as KristSingto, they are at the heart of BL history. In 2025, their presence is more than nostalgia. It's proof that when love is true, it doesn't fade over time, it only grows stronger. Their journey began with Sodas, the series, a drama that didn't just launch their careers but ignited an entire wave of BL culture across Asia. Fans still remember the iconic moments between Arthit and Kongpob, the teasing, the slow burn affection, and the eventual triumph of love. That series didn't just entertain, it redefined what BL could be, and KristSingto were at the center of it all. Then came Our Sky, a project that allowed fans to revisit beloved couples and proved once again that Krist and Singto could bring magic to any screen they touched. Their ability to shift effortlessly between playful banter and heartfelt sincerity turned simple dialogue into unforgettable memories. By the time Sodas S aired, audiences weren't just watching characters anymore. They were deeply invested in two actors whose synergy was undeniable. Fast forward to 2025, and KristSingto are still going strong, not just as actors, but as global icons. Their fan meetings feel like reunions, with longtime supporters cheering alongside a new generation of fans discovering them for the first time. Watching them interact live is like stepping back into a familiar story, yet with fresh pages still being written. Krist's quick humor blends seamlessly with Singto's calm warmth, and together they create an atmosphere that feels like home. What sets them apart today is their ability to stay relevant while honoring their roots. They're not stuck in the past, but they never forget it either. Every interview, every event, carries a balance of gratitude and ambition. They've embraced new projects, explored different genres, and yet, no matter where their careers take them, fans know that KristSingto will always circle back to the bond that made them legends. 2025 feels like a renaissance year for the duo. Their international schedules are packed, their social media interactions continue to spark joy, and fan projects in their honor remind everyone that their impact has never wavered. They're not just stars, they're storytellers whose legacy continues to inspire. And beyond the glitz of entertainment, KristSingto represents something deeper: endurance. They've weathered years of change in the industry, shifting trends, and the constant pressure of fame. Yet here they stand, still side by side, still smiling, still proving that true partnership isn't about chasing every spotlight, it's about walking through them together. The lesson they leave us in 2025 is one of loyalty and gratitude. They show us that when you stay true to your roots and nurture the connections that matter, you create something that stands the test of time. Their story is living proof that love, respect, and trust are the foundations of longevity. Now we want to hear from you. What's your favorite KristSingto memory, and how long have you been supporting them? Drop it in the comments. And if you'd like to connect even more, leave your phone number too. Who knows? Maybe one day, this community will surprise you with something special. There are performers who deliver great shows, and then there are performers who make you feel alive just by being themselves. That's exactly the magic of Anan and Wanarat, or as millions of fans proudly call them, YinWar. They're not just riding the BL wave, they're redefining what it means to be a duo that connects deeply with audiences both on and off the stage. Their breakout moment came with On of Love, Love Mechanics, where they first caught the attention of fans with an unexpected but irresistible chemistry. Yet, it was Love Mechanics, the series, that transformed them from rising stars into household names. Their portrayals of V and Mark weren't just convincing, they were raw, heartfelt, and unforgettable. Every lingering glance, every fight, every reconciliation carried an authenticity that made fans believe they weren't just watching a drama, they were witnessing something real. But the magic of YinWar doesn't end when the camera's cut. In fact, that's where it truly begins. Their 2025 appearances prove that their bond has only grown stronger. Whether they're stepping onto the stage in Bangkok, Manila, or Taipei, fans describe the same feeling, an instant spark of joy that spreads like wildfire through the crowd. Yin's calm steadiness grounds the room, while War's vibrant, cheeky personality electrifies it. The result? A perfect storm of charisma and heart. This year, they've gone beyond fan meetings. They've embraced a new kind of connection, sharing behind-the-scenes vlogs, collaborating in lighthearted variety shows, and experimenting with digital content that lets fans see them unfiltered. Their TikTok challenges and live-streamed game nights aren't just entertainment. They're invitations. Invitations into a friendship so genuine that you can't help but feel like part of it. And what stands out most is their growth. YinWar are no longer just actors trying to prove themselves. They're artists shaping their legacy. They're bold enough to take risks with new roles, daring enough to experiment with music, and confident enough to let their personalities shine through every project. Fans admire them not because they're perfect, but because they're fearless. They've been invited to international conventions, featured in campaigns that highlight diversity and inclusion, and recognized as voices of a new era of BL, an era where love stories are celebrated openly, joyfully, and unapologetically. YinWar aren't just playing characters anymore. They've become cultural ambassadors for what it means to embrace love in all its forms. Their story teaches us something powerful, that happiness doesn't have to be quiet or serious. It can be bold, colorful, and loud enough to fill a stadium. Yin and War remind us that life is meant to be lived joyfully, that friendship can blossom into legendary chemistry, and that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let the world see your truest self. What's the YinWar moment that left you smiling the most? And where are you tuning in from? Drop your answers in the comments below, and let's see how far the love for this duo travels across the globe. Every great story deserves a powerful closing chapter. And in our countdown of the top 10 BL couples still happily together in 2025, that honor belongs to Kim and Warut and Perawat. Known collectively as Kim and Copter, this duo is more than a pairing. They are a legacy. If the earlier couples showed us joy, playfulness, and youthful energy, then Kim and Copter stand as proof that longevity, trust, and commitment are what transform love stories into timeless icons. Their journey began long before 2025, but their impact continues to ripple through the BL community today. Many fans first met them in Gen Y the series, where their performances struck a balance of passion and sincerity. Later, with Gen Y2 and appearances in projects like Boy Never Smiles, they showcased a maturity that set them apart. Their characters weren't just romantic leads. They were portraits of relationships built on patience, understanding, and resilience. What makes Kim and Copter remarkable in 2025 is the way they've embraced their role as veterans of the BL scene without ever losing their spark. They've grown alongside the industry itself, shifting from rising stars to mentors, from fresh faces to cultural pillars. Yet even as they mature, they carry a boyish charm and camaraderie that keeps their connection exciting to watch. Fan events this year have highlighted exactly why they remain beloved. When Kim and Copter share the stage, the energy is different, calmer, deeper, but no less powerful. Their humor is quick, but layered with years of friendship, their glances filled with the kind of shorthand only long-term partners share. Fans describe their presence as comforting, The feeling of revisiting an old favorite song that somehow still feels new every time you hear it. Beyond the spotlight, 2025 has shown us Kim and Copter's bond in more candid ways. Social media clips reveal their easy banter, their mutual support, and the natural rhythm of two people who have built something solid over years, not months. That stability inspires fans not just to cheer, but to believe that love in its truest form doesn't fade, it deepens. And perhaps that's the best way to close our journey through these 10 extraordinary couples. From JimmySea's authenticity to PondPhuwin's growth, from ZeeNuNew's empire to PorschArm's forever, from MarkNeo's freshness to BounPrem's quiet strength, from KristSingto's enduring legacy to YinWar's explosive energy, and finally, to Kim and Copter's lasting bond, we've witnessed a spectrum of love stories that are as diverse as they are inspiring. Each duo represents a different flavor of happiness, but together they paint one undeniable truth. In 2025, BL isn't just a genre. It's a celebration of love, trust, and connection that transcends scripts, languages, and borders. These couples prove that happiness isn't a fleeting scene. It's a story that continues to be written day after day, with every smile, every embrace, every promise kept. And now we turn to you, our audience. Which couple in this list touched your heart the most, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to know which story resonates with you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because our community doesn't end here. Just like the couples we've celebrated tonight, our journey together is only beginning. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt journey. Love is always more beautiful when it's shared, and we're grateful to have you here with us. See you in the next videos, where new stories will continue to unfold. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep this flame alive.